scenario, significance, strategies, oblique schemes and opportunities and conclusion. Indian livestock sector. If you talk about this livestock sector, livestock sector nowadays contributing around more than 30% to agriculture GDP. Livestock sector contributes nearly 5% to the total GDP. You see the growth, that is a wonderful. And major source of livelihood and nutritional security, that milk, meat, egg and wool. That may be leather also, leather industry is also there. That all things that will be coming from livestock. Here, nearly 750 million people are associated with dairy. If you talk about the total population of our country, and that may be world's largest livestock population, accounting for, if you talk about this India, more than 35.94% cattle we have, 27.98 and 20, and more than buffaloes 30. In our country, we have a wonderful buffaloes breed as compared to the other countries. What dairy scenario? Here, if you see, it was observed that a slight increase, 0.5%, reaching to 936 million tons in 22. It means the total milk production of the world, that will be the 936, but growth is not up to the mark. But if you see the actual this graph, what is happening in Asia, that is increasing from 29 to 42%. Here, if you talk about the Europe, that has been decreased. Even in America, it has been decreased, and here slightly increased other ocean. Top 10 exporting countries in the global market. Although India's ranking at the level of 35, means 35th position is holding, but New Zealand, that will be the top one, followed by Germany, Netherlands, France, USA, Italy, Belgium, Ireland, and Denmark, and Poland. No doubt about it. New Zealand and Denmark, they have an excellent milk production system, and they have an excellent system of this milk product that will be provided to other countries. Although we are sufficient, we are not taking this product from outside because of this government policy. If you see the Indian dairy sector, that estimated market size of milk products in India, that is around 9.95, means nearly 10 lakh crore. Largest agricultural produce, that commodities. I have already talked about that total livestock sector contributes more than 5% to the national GDP. Already given the opportunities at maybe to the, already they are providing the opportunities for the job and other things that will be coming around 8 crore. And in our country, we have maximum population of small and marginal farmers and landless farmers also. What is happening in our country, that landless farmers, they are having maximum non-descript cattle because they don't require much more this fund and resources. They are all animals, they are already keeping on the basis of the grazing. Here, consumer demand rate, that will be 5%. And if you see the million women who involves members in dairy cooperatives, that is more than 4 million. If you see the total milk production of this country, I have already given the data in the beginning, in the inaugural session. That time it was, in the beginning, if you see that 1950-51, it was 17 million. Now over the years, if you talk about this 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, over the years it is increasing. Earlier it was 187, now it reached to 36 million. Availability of milk, that is also increasing. Here we have given 459, but latest data, it will be published very soon. It is touching around, say, 476. Likewise, The recommendation of the ICMR, if you see, that is recommended at least 300 ml milk that should be available to each and every person, and we are getting more than that. In if you talk about this Bihar, although we are not meeting out that requirement, but due to the implementation of the correct policies, that will be also increased. If you talk about this growth, species-wide milk production contribution growth, that will not be static. Sometimes it was increasing, sometimes it was decreasing. Now, if you see during 2023, it was already reported 3.83. Here, the contribution of the milk coming from other species are all about that. I have already given the data during my already inaugural speech. Nearly 97, yeah, even 96 to 97%, yeah, that may be 95, all coming from cattle and buffalo points. Maximum milk yield that is coming from indigenous buffalo. No doubt about it, if you take the whole scenario of the world, India is having excellent buffalo breeds, that may be Murrah, Nili Ravi, Jafrawadi. And out of the total 109 million buffaloes, nearly 42% of the share of only Murrah across the country, all over the country. Only because of that, we are getting maximum milk production. Rest of the milk production we are getting from crossbred cattle. Crossbred, that may be the HF crossbred, that may be the Jersey crossbred. But as per the latest policy, we should follow the selective breeding, and we have to promote and improve our indigenous cattle by providing the good quality of the germplasm at farmers' door. The facility, it will be available. Naturally, farmers, they are interested to take up. Now, what is happening? If you see the data of AI coverage, all about the country, that is already touching around 35%, but it should be more than 65 to 70%. Now, if it will be reaching around 70%, this milk production 230 million, that will be touching around 400 million. Likewise, policies that should be implemented. Here, other things, non-descript, I have already talked about 58%. Still, we are having the non-descript cattle, but the policy is we have to have the identification of non-descript cattle. If they are unique, that should be characterized slowly. Now, still we are having 53 cattle breeds and 20 buffalo breeds. Here, if you talk about the share of state in total milk production, no doubt about it, Uttar Pradesh is producing maximum, and share of the Uttar Pradesh, that is 15.7, nearly 16%, followed by Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Andhra, Maharashtra, Punjab, Karnataka. But Bihar is still, we are lagging behind. We are, the share of the Bihar that is coming around 5.42, means total milk production, if you see, that is 12.5 million metric ton. Here, the exact policy, Government of India policy is there, that should be implemented, and the quality semen that should be available to the farmers. Without that, it is not possible to increase the milk production. If you talk about the utilization pattern in our country, what is happening? At least 45% of milk is consumed at the producer's level. Means whatever milk they are already producing, 45% they are still consumed. And remaining 55%, no doubt about it, that is already available for milk and milk products. Liquid milk, that is also available, packed milk to the human beings. Ghee and butter, maximum after that 33% contribution, that is only for ghee and butter. Rest of the things, curd, koa, barfi, paneer, powder, cheese, all about that, less than 70%, 7%, sometimes 7.34%. Here we have a potential to increase the actual, this curd averages, means production of the curd, that may be koa and paneer. But I personally observe sometimes what is happening, if you the particular period of the Diwali, some adulterate koa is also coming. If we will have the sufficient milk production in near future, that will be replaced. So that is very important. How to just put more energy to provide the good quality of the curd, and percentage should be increased. Here we have to think about. Now, trade performance. What is happening in our country? Indian dairy industry, earlier, if you data, you see that during 2022, it was recorded 108, but slightly it was decreased. That may be so many reasons. And why it is happening, we have to think about that. Trade performance of Indian dairy products, that should be also encouraged. Now, thousands million ton. Here, if you talk about the India's export of dairy product, that is coming around 67,572 to the world for worth rupees 22.7 billion, and USD million, that will be 284, 85, around that. We have to think about that. That is very important. It will boost the system, and that will be very much beneficial to the country. Now, what is happening? Milk product is available, that is available to the peoples in our country. But how much we are already exporting? Dairy products exporting maximum proportion, that is going to the Bangladesh, followed by Arab, Saudi Arabia, US. Very meager that contribution, means we are exporting to other countries except Bangladesh. Here we have to think about that. If we will export only, then we will have the quality control, and that is very much important. Now, I have already visited last 2-3 months some of the dairy plants, Patna dairy plants, even Barauni dairy plants. Barauni dairy plants, I have already seen, they are already establishing the very good plant system, and that will be without any human involvement, fully automatic. Naturally, hygiene is very important. While you are sending, while you are exporting the material, the quality should be assured. Likewise, wholesale price index of milk and milk product, you see milk, condensed milk, ghee, butter, ice cream, powder milk, all. If you see, the data is already given here. How it is increasing, sometimes it is decreasing. We have to think about that, how the wholesale price index of milk and milk products, that should be taken care. Now, another thing is, milk societies are there. I have already visited across the country. I'm interacting with the farmers. What is happening? If you visit the village farmers, now they are not getting the right price of the milk. Sometimes they are getting less than 40 rupees. If the milk price less than 40 rupees, that will not be beneficial, and that will be very, very problematic to the farmers. I have already told them, or you sell your milk at least more than 50 rupees per kg. Then you will get the some price, some money. Otherwise, always you will be in trouble. It is not happening. Some of the places, they are bound to sell because they don't have chillers. They are not having the cooperatives, so that they are bound to sell the milk at the lower price. But in Gujarat, I have already interacted with the North Gujarat, with the farmers. They have an excellent system. Already cooperatives are there. They have a chiller system. Any person, sir, already taking milk, they are dropping the milk at that center, and everything already computerized. After 15 days, he will be getting the money. Everything. That system should be implemented in our whole countries. Otherwise, it will be very difficult just to boost the dairy sector. Here, export of the major dairy product from India, that will be butter and ghee, and followed milk powder, that is maximum. After that, cheese, milk powder, whey, and buttermilk. Buttermilk, no doubt, people are always liking in Gujarat. Always, before having this any meal, they are already offering and taking this buttermilk, and that should be popularized across the country. Here, already butter and ghee maximum we are already exporting, but that should be also encouraged to export the buttermilk to other countries. Here export of butter oil, ghee, and from India metric ton already given the data. That is, anyhow, earlier it was during 2022 it was reported around 38, but metric ton, but it is just going down. We have to think about that, how that butter and butter oil and ghee that should be imported. If see the consumption and production pattern of million metric ton, that is already given. In India, what is happening? Butter 100% that is produced and consumed. European countries, you see slight differences. You will find United States, New Zealand. That is a very less production is there, but here production, but they are not utilizing it. Likewise, data is there, and Brazil also. They have produced much, but they have utilized less. Export volume of the milk powder from India and that metric ton, that is already given. Why it is going down, but I don't know. That we have to see about that. Why it is going down during 2023. That may be earlier 2022, 21, 20. That may be the reason of the corona, but it was already increased and slightly again after 49, that in decreased to 17.9. That should be addressed. Here is the production of skimmed milk product. No doubt, see the pattern. European countries, India having very less skimmed milk production. Product that may be think about that, because people always they like this milk, skimmed milk. They don't actually like only because of that. That is not being produced too much. If milk is available and that is not being used, naturally that should be utilized in skimmed milk powder. Then you talk about the significance of dairying in India. What is happening? I have already told about that. We have 535 million livestock. All that is associated with the employment. We have to have the system employment generation, that livestock sector that is generating the employment, already providing the nutritional security. Nutritional security means we are already providing the dairy and others are, you see the meat production. That is maximum peoples now they are already non-vegetarian and as compared to the vegetarian. They are already getting this. Women empowerment. In most of the state, I have already seen maximum contribution that is given or that is coming from the women's only. So that our sector is encouraging the women's also. Strengthen rural economy. You see how that fellow is already bringing milk from village to city. Because village, there is no market. Market in the city. Now that fellow, what he is doing, he is collecting the milk at the rate of 35 and 40 rupees and selling the milk in the market around 60 rupees. Just bringing that milk, and per kg he is already milking money that is coming around 20 rupees per kg. Farmers, they are not getting right price only because of the lack of the market policy. And that should be also strengthened, and cooperatives should be everywhere, that should be developed. Then farmers will be motivated and they will get the maximum price. If you talk about the role of women, that is very much important. In marginal small farmers, all own around 60% of the milk animals and producing nearly about 70% of the milk. I have already talked about cattle and buffalo. They are already producing nearly 95% of the milk. 22% of the rural household, that is contributes approximately that our sector. And here milking and milk collection, the milk management, all things that will be addressed by in most of the villages, most of the areas. Farmers, only women farmers they are taking. If you visit Haryana, if you visit even Punjab, sometimes you visit Gujarat. Gujarat, I have already interacted. Total management, from management to milking, and that they are already taking milk to the cooperatives. All women are involved. Gents, they are only little involvement of the gents I have already observed. Maximum moments they are putting full energy, and that is the role of that, and we are getting the maximum production in that system. Current national policy for uplifting and strengthening the Indian dairy sector, that already given budget allocates to India and husbandry, that is 40% increase every year, because earlier only Ministry of Agriculture that was there. Now separate ministry is there, Ministry of Animal Husbandry and Dairy. They are taking about the actual performance, what is happening in our country. Establishment of Gokul Gram, that was the mission of this under Rashtriya Gokul Mission, Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairy. Efforts, I have already told about. AI coverage, that is very much important. Still we are having nearly 35. It should be increased and should come around 60 to 85%. Otherwise, without the AI coverage, it is not possible to improve our available animals, or that may be cattle and buffalo. So that good germplasm means semen, that should be available at the farmer store. What is happening? Sometimes semen is available, but liquid nitrogen is not there. That semen will be dead. Each and every chain that should be made available to the AI workers. Otherwise, it is not possible. Another thing is how to upgrade the animals. Upgradation is very much important. Suppose today we are thinking about that, we have a nondescript cattle. Nondescript means defined breed is not there, but we have a cattle. My aim is to convert that cattle into Sahiwal, Haryana, Gir. What to do? We have to have the semen of that Sahiwal, Red Sindhi, or that may be the Gir, the good quality of the semen that should be utilized for breeding over the generations, at least 4 to 5 generations. Then you will see that available nondescript cattle fully it will be that will be converted into the Sahiwal and Giran concrete like that. The system is already there, but that is not implemented in a real spirit. That should be implemented. Benefited over 29.87 lakh fiscal Kisan credits. That system is there, already providing this budget allocation under Rashtriya Gokul Mission. Rashtriya Gokul Mission already the budget allocation of 2,400. Now some of the state under this mission, they have established the wonderful semen stations. Beside this, now we are talking about the sex sorted semen. I have already seen in Uttarakhand, they have already established the facilities for semen, sex sorted semen. Even BAF, they have already established the, even Uttar Pradesh. In Bihar, that is also required. People's, they have a agriculture system, mechanical agriculture system. They don't want to keep the bullock. Now, here males, nobody is interested to take, so that sex-sorted semen, that will address the problem of the farmers. And if we will be using the sex-sorted semen, it is 100% sure the progeny, it will come around 90% female. So that system and things will be very much required, and if possible, that sex-sorted semen, that should be also available to the farmers at the farmers store for the breed. National Program for Dairy Development, focus infrastructure. Under that mission, they have already provided. So many states, they have already established, and graded lab also. Semen is available. Sometimes that semen facilities are not available, and farmers, they are bound to have this stray breeding, and that should be 100% restricted. Otherwise, progeny will not be a good progeny. Here, automatic milk collection centers, they have already installed different dairy plants. That is very much important. Now, one thing I will tell you, I will talk about the Bihar. Here, already plants are there. So many dairy plants in different districts. They have already installed facility of that dairy plant just to utilize at least nearly 48 to 49 lakhs milk, and that can be utilized for making the products. Now, what is happening nowadays? Just they are getting nearly 22 to 23 lakhs only kg milk for their utilization. How we will get maximum milk production? We have to think about that. National Livestock Mission, that is another Rashtriya Gokul mission for bovines. National Livestock Mission that may be address the small ruminants, that may be sheep, goat, all about that. But dairy, if you talk about the dairy dynamics, our sheep and goat contribution is very less. We have to talk about the cattle and buffalo. Animal husbandry infrastructure fund is already available. Under this, so many states they are getting the fund that is available. Even another, already in the morning, director research of the institute, he was talking about the ETT OPU, that no doubt about it, that is a very good concept, technology. But for the last 30 years, if you talk about the ETT, few animals already that has been already born through this technology. Still, we have to have the traditional system where in our country we have already implemented a progeny testing scheme where good quality of the sires we have already selected and semens are available, and it can be utilized for the mass breeding, and that way we can improve the performance of the cattle as well as the performance. Great, that system done, that milk processing capacity 39 already created facility under this system. Government support system for entrepreneurs, NABARD is there, already providing the fund. Startup India program, under this program, all. If anybody, any stakeholder is interested, is interested to promote that system or entrepreneurship, they can start their program. Startup India already given the loan, 10 lakhs to 1 crore, provision is there. Now, SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat. Strength is, although India is ranking first in the world, but you talk about the productivity per animal, that is very, very less. If you compare with the US, you compare with Brazil, you compare with even US, 1930, I have already seen one report. During 1930, it was published. That time, the milk productivity per animal, lactation milk yield I am talking about, it was around 16 to 700 kg. Now, US productivity is seen, that is touching around 10,000 kg milk per lactation. How much they have already increased? That time, India productivity, it was coming around 800 to 900, 1,000. Still, we are reaching around, if you talk about the crossbred cattle, 2,600, and another indigenous cattle, that is less than that. Opportunities, we have a good population, we have a excellent diversity, but we have to have the good breeding policy, health care, and facilities so that it can be already improved. Weaknesses, no doubt about it. Weakness, if we have a poor productive animals, the productivity will be less. And feeding resources, if you see the actual fodder grazing lands, that is shrinking day by day. And farmers, what they are doing it, they are not giving the actual strength and any support for the production of the fodders. They are already giving the actual interest, and they are growing feed, that sometimes this paddy and other crops. But equally, if you are having the animals, you must have the green fodders also. Threat is, nearly 80% of the Indian dairy industry is unorganized. No doubt that is, but that should be organized. It can be reduced, it can be addressed. A removal of import duty, that is the policy matter. I think it will be addressed at the level of the government of India. All these things, but opportunities we have. we have a large population and that will be improved, naturally the productive will be increased and feed and fodder facility that should be also addressed. Conclusion, coming to the mic, this conclusion, very important, dairy sector that should be always encouraged. You see everywhere Amul, Mother Dairy. In Bihar, we are talking about the Sudha Pomfret. Even Uttar Pradesh, that Parag Dairy. But I appreciate the efforts of the Bihar. They are doing wonder. Everywhere you will get the Amul product. Everywhere. They are maintaining the quality. Each and every aspect, they are doing it. Another thing is, but they have a proper market policy. Likewise, we have to have the system and increase them. Otherwise, our dairy sector will not just grow enough. It will be totally dependent upon the systems. We have to provide the full support to them. Market systems that should be available. If they are making the product and that should be immediately sold, that should be selling system that should be perfect. Global leader in milk production providing significant, no doubt about it. Our dairy sector there, that sector is providing the enough employment and addressing the healthcare of the human beings. Faces challenges like inadequate infrastructure quality, no doubt. Government of India that is already thinking about that, how to develop this dairy sector in future. The production is, the population of these human beings over the years, that is not decreasing, rather increasing. It means 230 million metric ton milk is not sufficient. Policy that should be implemented. If sufficient milk is available, then dairy sector always will be encouraged. That is already linked with the milk production and the fate of this dairy sector. India's leadership in milk dairy production needed to be coupled with strategic trade practices. No doubt, if we have a good quality of the product that is already made, that will be exported. No doubt about it. I have already seen this product of Denmark, even New Zealand. They've already given the option to the government of India. We are ready to provide the milk to the country. Government of India already narrated that don't require, we have a sufficient quantity of the milk we have, and our milk is sufficient. They are not taking it. Even Amul, you see, ready to drink milk is available. Gallons are available. Not Denmark, even New Zealand, and Brazil, even US, milks are available in the canals. They are purchasing 1 gallon, 2 gallon, not every day. Likewise, system it will be implemented in our countries. But the things is, we have to have the most system so that the milk should not be bad quality and that should be in a good quality. That is very much important. Quality maintenance is very. I urge our dairy students, teachers, at least we have to think about the future of the dairy sector. We will provide the different techniques. Today, we are already making so many products, but tomorrow, what type of product is required? That is a researchable area, and here teachers, and that may be the researchers, they have to think and interact with the people's, dairy sector people's. What is his requirement? How this system will flourish? That is very much important. And all about that, we have to work together, think about that, and future of the dairy sector that will be very much required for the country, for the nation, for the human beings, and everybody that is looking for that system. Thank you very much. Thank you. I am very much grateful to all these organizers also, and especially all these participants already listen to me very peacefully. Now, if you have any doubts, you can discuss with me.
Dear participants, now session is open for the discussion. If you have any doubt, you can ask directly or you can write in the chat box. Participants are encouraged to ask questions.
If they are not interested right now, they can send this question. I will reply later on through mail. But my request you all the participants, you are listening, you see the status of the country, where we stand. What is the situation of the country? How we can pour energy for enhancement and encouragement of the dairy sector. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Anuradha, Dr. Jadon, and Dr. Hamida, na? Dr. Hamida.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir, for your sharing your knowledge and experience with us. And you have highlighted about the current scenario, opportunity, challenges in dairy sector in a very detailed way. Sir, you have also shared with us that how we can improve the dairy sector in a very better way. You have also shared your knowledge about the role of women in dairying. You have also covered the topic like national program for dairy, like National Gokul Mission, government support system. You have also covered about the strength, weakness, opportunities and threats related to dairy industry. Sir, your knowledge will surely enrich the knowledge of the participants. Sir, we are very delighted to have you as a speaker for today, first day of summer school. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you all. I am leaving this.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, dear participants, we will meet tomorrow at 11 a.m. for our second lecture. Link will be shared shortly. Thank you so much. Okay, participants, you can leave now. We will meet tomorrow for the second session.